What's up, y'all? I want to take the time to answer some questions that you guys have, so I'm going to get right into it. Alright, so the first question is from Jaborni, asking if I can do my next video on troop formations. So the rule of thumb is 60-40. 60% either distance or cavalry, depending on what your stats are better at, and then 40% infantry. But a lot of this really depends on your merc troops. You could change your merc troops around and get away with more. Um, my sweet spot seems to be about 58% of my distance because I'm a distance marcher. If you're a cavalry marcher, then, try between 55 and 60% of cavalry. And, I highly recommend you test in the musketeer fort. But also, the better way I think to test is to find somebody stronger than you in your kingdom and send 1,000 troops to a camp and have them send 1,000 troops to the camp, have them keep the same number of troops while you test out different formations, So when I tested against, this was, I believe he was the strongest in the kingdom at the time. The first time I did straight 60-40. I did just 400 infantry, 500 distance, and 100 distance merc troops, and I lost that battle. I only killed 643, and I lost all 1,000 of mine. Remember, we were doing 1,000 troops in the camp just to keep it consistent. So the second march, I did 55-45. I had 400 infantry. I added 50 infantry merc troops, and then I lowered my regular distance to 400, but I added 150 distance merc troops. So I added an extra 50 distance merc troops, and I actually won that battle. I still lost 931, so it was pretty close, but it shows a big difference when you just go down 5% of your distance or cavalry and you up the infantry. Really, I just upped it by 50 merc troops and I ended up winning. So it was a big difference from only killing 643 and losing 1,000 to killing 1,000 and losing 931. So we did a third test, and I lost this battle, but it was a lot closer than the first one. And this one was also 55-45. But what I ended up doing was I lowered my infantry down to 350 instead of 400, and I added an extra 50 infantry merc troops. So I had 450 total infantry. It was 100 infantry merc, 350 infantry, and I lowered my distance to 350, and then I had 200 of the distance merc troops, and I ended up killing 882, and I lost all my 1,000, but it was still a lot closer than the first battle, and it seems like 55% was about my sweet spot, but things have kind of changed now, with the Tormentor coming out, so things are a little bit different. I did a few tests yesterday, and it seemed that, about 58% was my best. 58% of my distance. So if you're a cavalry marcher, then about try between 55 and 60% of your cavalry and see where that leads you. So just to show you where I'm at, my march is 1.32 million troops. When I did the math, it's actually 60.3% distance. So I have 695,000 regular distance and 102,000 of my merc troops, and my infantry have 488,000, and then I only have the Merc 2 infantry troops, and I have 42,000 of those. So that kind of seems to be about my sweet spot, really seems to be between 58 and 60%. So if you're a distance or cavalry marcher, try 55, try 60, try 65%, but you're probably going to end up drilling down between like 58 and 60% of either your distance or cavalry, but you need to play with the merc troops just to see what ends up working out best for you. Alright, so the next question was from David. He said something a lot of people don't understand still is honing your guard weapons. So a recurring theme in my videos is know what march you are. Know what stats you're better at, whether it's distance or cavalry. And you want to keep that in mind when you're honing your guard weapons. I'm a distance marcher, so I'm going to pay attention to that, and I want more distance when I'm honing my weapons. You can click on this little eye here to see what's available that you could possibly get, either purple, blue, or green. Obviously you want the purple, but that might not be realistic if you're not trying to spend a whole ton of gold, right? Same thing with this little spade down here for the tempering benefit. It's going to show you the same thing. And just to show you everything that I have here, again, I'm a distance marcher. So everything that I keep is going to be either distance infantry or troops. I do still have a few that are cavalry. And really quick, when you see something that's damaged or damage received, you probably want to lock that one in. Locking them in is not something that I do a whole lot because you end up wasting a ton of gold. That's why I do still have some that are cavalry because I'm honing all four of them. I'm not going to lock one in and spend a bunch of gold because, I do the 5 free per day and I could go weeks without replacing the four that I have. So you can imagine how much gold you're going to spend if you're locking one in and just honing the other three. So I'm going to get into honing this one. This is one that I kept yesterday because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. Like I kind of wanted to replace it, but I wasn't really sure because I like the troop attack, I like the infantry and distance, I like having all four of ones that I really use a lot. And you see the ones that want to replace, one of them has cavalry attack. But troop health is huge. Health is huge. Troop defense is huge. Any of the troop numbers are huge, and health especially is real big. And then I have one that's blue, so it's kind of like the troop defense 300 outdoes the distance and infantry defense. I feel like that 300 is better than both of those two combined. Um, and then I have the troop health, which a lot of people are saying health is the best of all, over attack and defense. I'm not talking about damage. But so the health is kind of better to me than one of the troop attacks. So it's really comparing, do I prefer the 265% infantry health or the 180 troop attack? When you kind of break them down one versus one, because I'm not really calculating the cavalry one because I'm not really going to use that a whole ton. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace it just for the sake of this video. And one of the things I wanted to show you is the locking it. So you see that you can do it for free 5 times per day, but when you lock it, all of a sudden it's 400. And like I said, there's times I go weeks without replacing these four. So how much gold are you going to spend? Like, is that really worth it? I don't think it is. So I don't usually ever lock them, but I'm going to do it just for this sake. And you see, look, if you lock 3 of them, that's 5,000 gold you're going to spend just to try to replace one of them. So let's see what it comes up with. It came up with nothing special. It's exactly the same. Seriously? Really? So I'm gonna do it again just to see if it replaces that cavalry attack. And here we go. That's good. So we see the bottom three are the same, and now I have infantry defense instead of cavalry attack. I'd much rather have anything distance, infantry, or troop. So I'm gonna replace that. So that was actually a good job there with the spending the gold for it. But for the most part, I don't like to spend the gold because you're gonna waste so much gold. I only got 225% infantry damage or defense, and I spent 10,000 gold. Is that worth it? That's up to you. If you got a ton of gold, then maybe it's worth it for you to do that for all 8 of these guard weapons. But for the most part, I'm not doing it. After that little test there, I might do it with some more of them. Let me go back and find one of these other ones with cavalry and see if it actually kind of helps me out again. So, oof, I don't really. I mean, these are good, but do I want to do another 5,000 just to see if I can get something better than that cavalry defense? So let's see. Food gathering speed, negative. Resource production, negative. wood gathering speed. So you see, for the most part, you're gonna get a bunch of crap. I think I got really lucky on that one, but for the most part, you're gonna get something, and I just wasted, what was it, 25,000 gold just now on honing these two. I don't get a ton of gold, so I'm not gonna want to waste 25,000 just to, try it, 5 times in one day. It's just really not worth it to me. So if you have a lot of gold, maybe it's worth it to you, but for me, honing the guard weapons and locking them is not going to be worth it. I just do the 5 free, see if I can keep 4 good ones, and then enhance those to keep making those 4 ones that I select better. So I'm going to retain this one, and I'll go back and enhance something just so you can see that part. I know he was asking about honing, but which one did I replace recently? I think it was this one. So I'm going to enhance this. So even if you get, something that's kind of lower, but it's 4 that you really like, keep those 4, enhance them every day 5 times for free, and eventually it's going to be, a high number. All these numbers were really low when I first got them, but I enhanced them every day, and they're going to, it's the same thing with the honing. If they're all red, don't do it, retain it, and then that's not going to be worth it either. You really got to keep going till you find ones that you like. And again, you're going to do 5 per day, and most of the time, they're not going to be something good. This one here, I'm not losing even 0.3% of troop health because health is king, especially troop health. So I'm going to retain that. And again, it's red. My numbers are already gotten a little bit high, so they're going to keep on giving me red ones. But eventually, you're going to get something that you can replace them with. They're just really doing me wrong right now. Let me go to another one. I think when your numbers get high enough, they're not going to really give you good options every time you enhance it. There we go. That's something nice. All green, you easily accept it. Um, but for the most part, you're going to get a bunch of reds. See, that I do. Adding something that's troop, is going to trump the other things. Um, Health is going to trump, defense in my eyes. So right here, I'm losing a point 0.6 of infantry defense. So I'm going to replace that. All right, so the next question is from Paul, asking if I can do anything on this dragon and if it's worth spending money on. So I was trying to get a lot of feedback from people. When this first came out, the first round was it a month ago or so. I only did the one shot. I didn't buy anything. I just didn't think it was worth it. And this time it came around, and I was wondering the same thing that you asked: is it worth spending money on? And I got feedback from 20 people, and literally 19 of them said it's not worth spending money on. The one person that said something was worth spending money on was not to spend money on the Draconos to do the Alliance one, only to spend a little bit on the Mandrake. Get the Warrior's Blessing, get the shots, 5 shots per day, and do that. And that's kind of what I'm doing because it just really seems not worth it. You're going to end up spending, like one person said to me, you're going to end up spending $100, $200 to get $20, $30 worth of rewards. It's just really not worth it. So yeah, so this Draconos battlefield here, your R5 can select points on the dragon that will take away, it gives you some kind of buff to take away more points. I don't know. Either the wings or the horns or the feet, and you could hit that, and it kind of gives you extra damage to their HP. Um, the person that said that it's worth it to do the individual, she's a big castle and she spent a lot of money on trying to kill this with the alliance, all of her alliance members, and she is saying it is taking forever. It is absolutely not worth it to unlock one of these stores. When you go to the Draconos, you have to destroy one of either the horn, the wings, or the claws to open up one of these stores. And from what she's telling me, It is absolutely not worth it. It is gonna take forever. You can see just from here what we did. One person shot this wing, I shot this horn, and this is how far we are. I mean, we still have 29,000 over here, 100 of 30,000, and even worse over here. Or somebody did shoot down here recently, but you see how far we are. It's just not even close. You'd have to have, in order for this Draconos section to be worth it, you'd have to have, I don't know, 20 people spending $50 each, and all of them shooting at the same spot, either the horn, the wings, or the claws. Absolutely not worth it. So if you're gonna do anything, get the Warrior's Blessing, do the Mandrake. I bought the Warrior's Blessing, so every day you can claim 5 of these. You could also purchase a pack and send the Warrior's Blessing to somebody else. The Warrior's Blessing does give you 5% march speed, 20% troop march speed, sorry, 5% march capacity, 20% troop march speed, and 100% resource gathering speed. But that only lasts for 7 days. And right now, I think we have like 5 days left. So you're going to get that for only 5 days. So I'll show you whatever damage it does. So you see up here, I have 1,000 of these things, whatever they're called. So I'm going to shoot once, and you see I get 100 of those scales. One serum. That's not nothing at all. I spent the $10. I was just curious just to see if this March capacity was going to be permanent. I figured it wouldn't be, but I just wanted to see what it said when I did it. So we're gonna just fire this a bunch of times. So when you slay those, that's the other thing. You have to slay the dragon, the Mandrake one, the regular one, not the Alliance one, the regular one 16 times just to open up the second section, the second store. So see if I could actually. I don't think I'm gonna do it because I only have 12 left. It's just not worth it. I got one Dragon Slayer. I didn't realize they give you one of the Dragon Slayer. The Dragon Slayer balls are the ones that you could use to fire at this guy. So I'm going to fire that one there since I just got it. And that doesn't, the Draconos hearts, that's what you can exchange in the Draconos store. So I only have 30 of those. Not really going to do a lot, but I really trying to improve my Tormentor, so I'm going to be able to get those. But it's locked because we haven't destroyed either the horns, the wings, or the claws. So it's really pointless. Don't spend any money on the Draconos ones, the Alliance ones. Just, if you're going to do anything, get the Warrior's Blessing. That's my thing. So let me just fire these just to see how many times I can slay this guy and see if I can open up store number 2. I'm probably just going to, get the 5 free per day and see how many times I can slay him and what will be unlocked, in that store. I don't think I'm even going to get to the second store here. It's ridiculous. Alright, so let's see here. I'm at 9 times out of 16. So I gotta slay him 7 more times in the next 4 days, which I'll be able to do because I got that Warrior's Blessing. So I'm gonna get 5 per day. So I'll probably get the second store open, and then I can at least get some of these. But 180, I have 2,000. Sorry, I'm stuttering here. 2,400 right now. What am I going to get? 13, 14 of these crystallizations? It's just not worth it. Even $10. Let's see. If I was to spend $10 um, just to see how much the crystallizations are, I would get 30. I would have been better off spending $10 to get these here instead of doing it through this dragon. So now that I see that, this is 100% not worth it. Like everybody said, it's a money grab. It's absolutely not worth it. I got some more of those, whatever the ones that are shooting at this Draconos guy. So let me shoot those. I own 4 of them now. Let me shoot this same thing here. But no matter what, it's not going to open up that second store. So this is all completely pointless. you know? So I'm gonna go to that second store now, the Draconos down here, and you see, like, none of it's gonna be unlocked. It's just completely pointless. Look how far we are. Have another 28,600. I mean, we're not even close. You're gonna need, you know, like I said, 20 people spending $50 each. It's just absolutely not worth it. The packs, you can do this warrior pack if you want to send that to somebody just so they can unlock the warrior's blessing. If you got a homie in your alliance that you're cool with and you just want to send them a little gift, it is nice that you could actually send somebody a gift that has some kind of perks. So that's cool. But any stats for yourself, it's just absolutely not worth it at all. Sorry guys for rambling a little bit there on the Dragon One. I was kind of figuring it out. As I was going through it with you. Um, but please like and subscribe. I'm still pretty new to this. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I don't have a lot of comments or questions. But as soon as I do, I'm gonna try to do this more often. In the future, I think it would be really cool if I could be able to go live and be able to answer questions and bounce questions and ideas back and forth with you guys. So that's something I'm looking forward to do in the future. But I got to get more subscribers and more comments and everything. But please, like and subscribe. I'm a single dad. I got a full-time job, so I apologize if it takes me a little bit of time to get to some of your questions or to make videos on those questions. But I promise you, I will absolutely get to them. Thank you all for watching.